Let's start with the first problem on your review. How many terms are in this sequence? First thing you need to do, you need to determine if it's arithmetic or geometric. Which one is it? Arithmetic. So what is my D? Okay, what is D? D is 5. What else do I know? U1 is? UN is? 117. Okay? So now to find the number of terms. 117 equals -8 n minus 1 times 5. Now you're just going to do the algebra. 117 equals -8 plus 5n minus 5. This makes -13. I add it. 130 equals 5n. N equals 26. Okay, find the sum. So now I'm going to use S of n. Is this arithmetic or geometric? Geometric. Okay? What is the second term? -12. What's the first term? Reduce it.
6 over 8.
Okay, -6 over 8. Keep reducing. -3 over 4. Which variable is this? This is my R. Okay? It's geometric. So sum I have two choices for. Is 3/4 less than 1 or greater than 1? Remember, you ignore the negative. Just focus on the number. So 3/4 is less than 1. Flip in your booklet. Find the sum for geometric. Less than 1. Somebody tell me the formula. U sub 1 on 1 minus R. So what's the first term? Over 1 minus a -3/4, right? Okay, are you guys okay if I switch out 1 for 4 over 4? So I have a common fraction, yes? Okay, double negatives is plus, so the bottom becomes 7 over 4. How do I divide by a fraction? Multiply by the reciprocal. So 16. Okay, good? No. So I took the fraction and I flipped it. So now I'm going to multiply. So my final answer, whoa, is 64 over 7. Done. Don't convert it to a decimal. Don't do anything. 64 over 7. Where are you confused? Because a couple of people are like, whoa. Yes, what part? So it does matter it's infinite series if it is greater than 1 or if it was arithmetic. So in this case, I can find the sum because it's geometric and the rate is less than 1, which means it starts, even though it's infinite, it's eventually going to get it very, very close to the number 0. So technically it has an end. Okay? Just like when you guys learn about exponential functions, it pushes to 0. It never goes over 0. It gets smaller and smaller. And there used to be that question, will you ever wash all the ink out of a pair of denim? No, because it keeps decreasing. It gets very, very, very close to 0, but never actually hits it. Okay, that was a long answer. Yes?
What exactly is the formula for finding R?
For finding R? So, finding R is second over first. Second over first. Finding D is second minus first. Good? All right, number 3. Okay, so what type of series is this? Arithmetic, because it's plus 7. What is the formula for the sum? Sum. Sn equals n over 2 u1 plus un. Okay, I have a problem. I have two unknowns. I don't know n and I don't know s of n. Can I find one of those? Which one? N. Okay? So I'm going to use u of n equals u sub 1 plus n minus 1 d. Good? All right. So 104 equals 13 plus n minus 1 times 7. Yes? Everyone know where that came from? Who said no? Okay. This is the formula for a single term. Okay? I know the term that I'm looking for is 104. I know the first term is 13. I don't know the number of terms, and I know the pattern is 7, so I just replaced it all. 104 equals 13 plus 7n minus 7. This makes 6. When I subtract 6, 98 equals 7n. N equals what? 14? Yeah. Okay. Now do I have enough information to use this formula? Okay. Lyric, you're on. What goes here for n? Yeah, you adjusted it, which is perfect, though. Okay? Because you could just do the division now. Okay, what's the first term? 13 plus the last term was 104. So 7 times 117, 819, problem done. The majority of your problems are like this, okay? There's a couple challenging ones. Let's keep going. Okay, I should be on number 4. Shh. Okay, arithmetic. Second, seventh. So I'm going to start with U2 equals negative 6, U7 equals 9, UN equals 855. What can I do with the first two pieces of information? Because that does not give me the first term. What can I do? I can use them to find D, which then there's a quick way to find the first term because they gave me the second term. So once I find D, I just backtrack. Okay? So remember, arithmetic goes with linear. Linear goes with slope. So what is my Y? 9 minus negative 6 over, what are my X's? 7 minus 2. 15 over 5 is 3. 3 is my what? D. Sorry, it went off the screen. 3 is my D. Yes, ma'am. Think of these as my Y's, and these are my X's. Okay? All right. So 3 is my D. Now, give me 1 second, then I'll take your question. I could plug it into that U sub n equals U sub 1 and solve it. But if I gave you the second term, and I know the pattern is to add 3, if I want to go back to the first term, I just do what? Subtract 3. So what is negative 6 minus 3? Negative 1. There's nothing wrong with doing that. I know on some of the questions yesterday, you guys figured out the pattern and you just kept the pattern going. That's fine. That's a legit way to solve the problem. There's not always one way. Question. That's 9 minus a negative 6, yes. Okay? Thank you. I'll have you hand those out in a second. Just leave them, or they can grab it on the way out the door. Okay. All right, are we good? Now they want to know what term this is. So I'm going to do Somebody set it up for me. 855 equals negative 9 plus n minus 1 times 3. Okay? I'm giving you 30 seconds to finish. Okay, so I have 855 equals negative 9 plus 3n minus 3. Negative 9 and negative 3 makes negative 12. So I'm really going to add 12, and that gives me 867 divided by 3, which means n is, say it again, 289. You're doing fabulous. This is a middle to trickier, harder problem. Okay? So we started with some of the easier ones. Now we're middle of the road. Good? Okay. I'm going to give you some study advice in a minute. Okay, I should be on problem number 5, yes? Oh. Okay. So what's the pattern? Times 4. So it's geometric. All right, so write me the equation. Come on. U of n equals 3 times 4. Bam. Done. Are we okay with that? Okay. There's 5 formulas. Yes. Okay, so we're looking for a term, which means I'm going to use one of the U of n formulas. I notice it's times 4, which means it's geometric, so I look for the geometric U of n. And it says U sub 1 times r to the n minus 1. I just replace these two. I let you leave it. This is recursive. I'm perfectly fine with you leaving it as recursive. Done. Yes.
When we get to the test tomorrow, are we gonna get?
You're going to get those formulas. You'll get a big booklet with the formulas in it.
Okay. Is it like can we have it? Is it gonna show? Yeah. This is the same.
No, that's what I told you before, that you had to know what the letters stood for. Yes, that booklet. All right, are we good? All right. U of n stands for any term. U sub 1 stands for first term. Okay. All right. So what does this symbol want me to do? Find a term or sum? Sum. Is it arithmetic or geometric? Arithmetic. Because it's a subtraction or addition problem, okay? All right. So find me the first term. How do I find the first term? 5 times 1 minus 3, which is 2. What other term do I have to find? 24th. The last one, yep. 120 minus 3 is 117. Okay? Ready? So, how many terms between 1 and 24? Guess what? As long as the bottom number is 1, whatever number's at the top is your total number of terms. It only is different if this isn't 1. All right, so 24 over 2, 2 plus 117, 12 times 119. Do you not know where those numbers came from? Your hand should be up. Okay, so what is 12 times 119? 1,028. Cool? All right. We're doing good. It'll be on the video. Okay, so they want you to express it in sigma notation. Okay? First term, second term, third term. I need to find out what number term that is. Right? Yes? So U sub n equals U sub 1 r to the n minus 1. Yes? Okay. Or you could just keep doing the pattern. So I could do 64, 32. Do you guys prefer this instead of the formula? Be honest. Okay. 16, 8, 4, 2, 1, a half. Did I find it? Or you can use the formula. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, count with me. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I want the first to the 11th term. Now, if you get a 1 here and you can write the equation and you miss the 11 there, you're going to get most of the points. Okay? All right, so what's my start value? 2048. What's my pattern? But how do we write divided by? 1 over 2 to the n minus 1, done. All right, I want to do the really hard one before the bell rings. Yes. First term. When you're writing the equation, that bottom should almost always be 1. Okay, so let me find the super hard problem. Okay. Okay, this is the hardest problem. Okay? If I add up the first 8 numbers, I get 16. The 9th number is 11. What can I use those two pieces of information to also give me? A sum, a number, what? A sum. I can use this, and you should be able to tell me the sum of the 9 terms. What would the sum of the 9 terms be? 27. The first 8 add up to 16, and then when I add on that 9th one, I get 27. This is the absolute hardest problem that you'll have to do. Okay? 27. So S sub n is 27. Yes. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. First 8 terms. What does that add up to? 16. Oh, I found out what the 9th term is. It's joining the team. It was 11, so I have 16, and I'm adding 11 more. I'm at 27. It only works because it's 9th is the next after 8, okay? Okay? So if I said the first 3 terms are this and the 5th term is that, it wouldn't work as nice and neat, okay? All right. So S sub n is 27. So what else do you know about S of n? Do you have a formula S sub n? Yeah. What is it? First term and the nth term, right? Yes. No, 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 no. Wouldn't do that to you. Okay, good question. All right, are we good? Okay. Do I know the number of terms? Yes. Do I know the first term? Do I know the last term? Yes. Okay. So, I have to be able to find the first term. What formula do I use to find terms? This is the thinking your brain should be going through. What formula? UN. U sub n equals U sub 1 plus n minus 1 d. Okay? Okay? All right. Are we okay? All right. So I know 11 is the 9th term, right? So 11 equals U sub 1 plus 8D. Okay? Yes? Okay. I know over here 27 equals 9 over 2 times u sub 1 plus 11, because my last term is 11. Okay? Can I find u sub 1? Yep, I should have done this one first. Sorry, guys. All right, so 27 equals 9 over 2u plus 99 over 2. Subtract that. So subtract 27 minus 99 over 2. And then divided by 9 over 2. 27 minus 99 over 2. Take all of that and divide it by 9 over 2. And what do you get? Okay, finish your review. Okay, so when I type this whole thing in my calculator, I end up with negative 5. So negative 5 is my u sub 1. Okay? If you had trouble with this, if you think about it, term 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, they're all unknown, so they're squares. But they all total to 16, and the ninth term is 11. When I combine them, I get 27. Okay? So Miss Turowski actually had a better idea. I distributed here. She said, rather than distribute, you could have already divided by 9 over 2, which would have meant 27 times 2 over 9, which is 54 divided by 9, which is 6, and then you subtract the 11 and still get negative 5. Okay, so negative 5 is my first term. So then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to replace this with negative 5. To get rid of negative 5, I have to add 5. So now I have 16 equals 8d. So d is 2. This is the hardest problem you'd have to do, and these numbers are trickier than what you'd have to do. I will post the answer key to the Google Classroom.